Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about this packet tracer. This is the first packet tracer um, and this is our Cisco CCNA module 3 version 7. It's all going to talk about in this module. I'm going to bring more content on enterprise networking, security, and automation. All right, and this is the final module to when you're completing your CCNA course, and when you do the it has a three parts, right? One, two, and then three. And this is an intermediate level course as well. So um, I'm sharing this in YouTube for you guys, so you don't have to. You have access to this, and you can actually study this, and then it will help you a lot when you go do your exam. Or actually, this pack tracer, it gives you it gives you a hands-on experience, because it really mimics the real world networking closet, how it works in real world. So it really mimics the real world, and you want to be able to if you're able to do this packet tracer, you'll be successful when you're doing it in the field. And I guess you'll have more experience, and you have more understanding of the networking topology and how everything connects and how everything works and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the fun stuff. Today this is the first lab on this third module, so stick with me. We're gonna do this, we're gonna have fun working this, and it's a lot of good information I'm here to share, and hope you guys are finding this content very helpful. And if you think this content, if you think the type of video I'm posting been helpful to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. And let's without any further ado, let's get started with this one. So I'm not gonna read the objectives, the backgrounds, because I'm trying to save the time. As you can see, what we're gonna do is we're gonna we have 6 parts, 1 through 6, and we're gonna pretty much explore, and then we need to at the end install a backup router, and then we're gonna configure it, and we're gonna explore. You can explore the rest of the network if you have access to this packet tracer. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of give you maybe an idea of what's going on in the background here in this module. So physical, it says physical and logical mode. You can also do Shift L to switch between those mode, or Shift P to go to physical, Shift L to logical. Or you can also kind of hover your mouse over to this this section right here, and then you can go, this is our logical mode. Logical mode has a lot of information on your equipments, on the router switch, and how it's all connected and where it's all going, and how it's how it's getting the data, and how it's been distributed in the network. Okay, if you go to the physical, this is how it looks. This is just the overview of the main network, how it connects from one location to another location in Vancouver, all the way to this Seward location, right? And of course, this is your this long cable, or this long cable is, it's gonna be a fiber cable running through ISP. That's the ISP that provides that transport to both locations, and it's been hauled through this fiber cable that's going across the two locations. Right now, with that said, let's get into some of the fun stuff here. We're gonna investigate the bottom toolbar, actually. All right, if you're new to this channel and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I'm just gonna give you a brief rundown of this packet tracer and where everything's are, and how what are this devices at the bottom and what are they for, everything. So that's what the instruction also kind of mentions. So um so if you go, this is your network devices. If you click your network devices, it pulls up all the routers right here, right? So you have all the routers and they're labeled with the numbers, so each has a different numbers. All right, and then if you go over to under network device, under switches, you have this many switches, right? These are the different type of switches you have. And then you have hubs, and then you have wireless devices, and then firewall, and so on, right? So you have all these devices you can use. You can make your own network using all these devices. It's possible in packet tracer. Just be creative, and you can build crazy network. So, and then if you go to end devices, we have under end devices, we have PC, all these laptops, right? TV, phone, stuff like that. And under home, if you go home, things in the home, right? What are the things we kind of like the end devices we have at home, stuff like that, garage door, home speaker, all of those are now um Internet of Things, right? LOT, smart devices, they connect to wireless. So and then you can also see a small city, like stuff. You can put the wind detector. You can do cool stuff, like you can even street lamp. Wow. Solar panel. It's got a really awesome stuff here, and more of that stuff. And then as you can go here, so you can kind of explore and see things in this here connections. We have different type of connections, right? We have console cable. Obviously that's if you have the equipment, if you're in the wiring closet, you want to use console cable to connect to that device. Even if the router is down or switch is down, to configure, if you want to be able to configure that router or switch, you want to use that console cable to configure your router. And then you have copper to connect to your straight through. You can connect your wireless point. You can connect different switches, your routers, stuff like that, right? It's an Ethernet cable. Now, so on. So you have all that stuff right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and investigate part 2. Investigate devices in a wiring closet. All right. So if you went exploring, return to physical mode and intercity now. Now, all right. Yeah, I'm on physical right now. I'm gonna go. All right. So this is my ISP. You can even see the ISP wiring closet, but I'm gonna go back to my main physical board here. So I'm gonna go to click Seward. I'm gonna go to this location, Seward, and I'm gonna go to branch office, and I'm gonna go to wiring closet. Now you can also zoom out a little bit. Yep. Now on the left we have rack, right? And then on the right we have shelf. Shelf, you can have stuff like your extra equipments, right? Kind of like a backup spare equipments on the shelf. And then you have a pegboard where you can hang all your cables on that. And then you have a table. You can place your PC, stuff your laptop. And then on the left side we got a rack where you can attach, where you can mount your devices, your routers, your switches, your server, stuff like that. And there's a power distribution device, so you rack them, you stack them, racked mounted. They can be racked mounted. So I can zoom in and see. If I zoom in, you can see a little bit more, more more clearly, and some of the details you can see. So it has this So just kind of give you briefly, this orange cable is your where is that? That's your fiber cable. So that's going to Warrenton DC router 2, and the other one, that's your fiber cable as well, that's also going to Warrenton DC router 1. So one goes to router 1, the other one goes to router 2. That is because for redundancy purposes. All right, you want to have every link has a redundancy to, in the event of one link failure, you have the other one to support your business. All right, so you have customers is still up while you work the one link that's been down. Okay, and then you also have this ISP that's using actually copper straight through to connect to the ISP edge router destination to fast Ethernet. That's the port, and from edge router to that port to the ISP device. And then you have from edge router, this one is your that's edge router source port is that's your fast Ethernet 1 port, and then that's going to the switch number 1, right? Switch number 1, and the port destination is fast Ethernet 0. Actually, it's, yeah, the numbering system on the switch is starts with 0. That's, and then all the, so you'd be like 0 would be actually it's, you'd say 1, and then your 1 would be 2, so on. But yeah, in this case, like it goes from 0 1 2 3 4 5, 0 1 2 3 4. So you have, that's your first port, or 0 is your first port. Anyway, and then you have this going to source from axis. That's the axis right here, I guess. Yep, that's your access point. It's connected to the access point. So your access point is connected to the switch here, and then you have this switch number 2. You have server connected to switch number 2, right? Source to destination. All right, now that's the kind of like the basic overview of what the wiring and connection and how it's all connected. So basically, just to give you so first the ISP hits the edge router, right? Because the ISP is the one that's providing service, right, to this location. So so first it comes from ISP, hits the edge router, and then the edge router gonna distribute the signal or the connection, the internet service, to your switch 1 2, right? And your switch 1 and 2 is connected. They have two lines that's connecting both, right? And then your switch gonna connect more devices in that closet, in that office. How many devices, like web server, you have print server, other stuff, right, to run your mail server. So you can have multiple stuff, you can have multiple like as so it has so many ports. We're going to talk about the VLAN. Even the VLAN gonna enable more routing, and more ports, more logical ports. So it's really good into. But if you want to watch more of that, the trunk and VLAN, and then like stuff like that, you need to watch my previous videos where I've really covered all of those stuff. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna move on. All right, now we explore the stuff in there. We're all good. Now I'm gonna switch back to go back to my physical mode. All right, now I'm gonna be here. Now I'm gonna be all right, so we're done with part 2. Part 3, connect end devices to networking devices. Devices can be connected in a variety of ways. For network connectivity, devices are typically connected using either a copper straight-through cable or wirelessly. Okay, so the two ways we can connect. For management connectivity, devices are typically connected using either a console cable or USB cable for management connectivity. All right, if you want to configure your switch router, that's one way you can connect to your switch or router. You can also connect using um, um, SHA, SSH, telnet, but we're gonna stick to console cable for right now. Okay, now packet tracer will grade the rest of the activity at any time. You can click OK, result, that's fine. All right, now investigate the cable pack board. It includes 2 console cables, 10, let me what location we want to go. I guess we'll just pick this guy. I think that's right. All right, now the pegboard is talking about this right here, right? And then it says I have two console cable, and you have 10 copper straight. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, 10 straight through. Copper straight through. Now, okay, so we have that information. What I'm gonna do is there is if you need the answer for this one, like the question is asking here, below the router are 2 switches, and these switches provide wired connection to network to other devices. Notice that the devices have a name assigned by the network administrator. What devices used a wired connection to connect to? ALSU. Okay, so wired is you have server. Web server is wired connection, and then you have switch number 1, that's a wired connection, and then you have access point, that's your wired connection. So you should have 3. So here's your answer. ALS1 is wired connection, and access point is wired connection, and web server is wired connection. Okay, all right, now below the switches in the rack is a wireless access point named access point. Wireless access point use a wireless connection to connect to other devices. Switch to logical mode. Okay, let's switch to logical mode. Which device is connected to access point? So the access point is right there. My device is laptop 1. So your answer is laptop 1 for that. Now switch to physical mode, and you should be back in the branch office wiring closet. Where is the device connected to access point? Physically located. So the device connected to access physically located is on the table. That's your answer, on the table. All right, now that's your answer. Now part 3, let's move on to part 3. There's not much any questions for part 3. All right, so we need to do a few things here. All right, now physical mode. Yep, we're in physical mode. Click copper from the pegboard. Okay, so we want to click 1. All right, and then float your mouse over to the ports on PC1. Okay, PC1 right there. Okay, float it to PC1. All right, now and what says PC1 is RS, what is that, 232, right? Click it, and then you see the fast Ethernet 0 pop up. Okay, oops. Okay, so it's going to the ALS2. All right, now if I zoom in, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, that is our fast Ethernet 0, LS2. So the top one right there. No, it's actually 0, 1. It doesn't say, it just says 0. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think that's, yeah. 0 pop up. That's 0/1, but fast Ethernet. Okay. All right. Now, all right. Empty port. Yeah, you can choose any of that port on there. So PC1 and then ALS2 port. Okay. All right. Now, PCs and laptops can be connected to networking devices using a console cable or a USB cable. This connection provides management access. Click a console cable. We have a console cable right there. And then you want to do where I was. Now click yes. Oh, my bad. There's a 0 right there. So you want to remove this. Sorry, that's my bad. Let me unclick this. Let me remove this here. So you want to be come on. There you go. Move it like that. Just drag it to where is that? There you go. Yeah, you can just drag it over there. So that's our fast Ethernet O going to switch 2 on port 0/1. Now I'm gonna use console cable. Come back here, put it right there, RS232, and then on the edge router. So float your mouse over to the edge router, find the console port. Now we want to find the console. It says console right there. That's your console cable. All right, now that's going to provide management access. Okay, now that is that. All right, so I have the console cable connected. Now my next click the now inspect. You can inspect. If you inspect, it's gonna be, if you click yep, that's how you can inspect. You can also do yep, inspect front. It just zooms in so you can see a little bit better. Okay, all right, now what you want. All right, so click the console port on edge router to connect. Okay, we already did that. Should be dangling between. Yes, it is dangling. This one, this guy right there. Okay. You can also, if you don't like it dangling like that, you can also do, if you click manage cable, it's gonna hide it for you. Oh, it cannot be managed. Why, I wonder. Oh, that's weird. Okay, you can also change the color, I guess, but cables connected to a device and table cannot be. Oh, gotcha. If it's on the table, it cannot be managed, I guess. But if it's on the rack, you can manage the cable. All right. Kind of hides it. It hides it, so it's not dangling. Okay. Now, that's it. The connection is good. Now install a backup router. Okay, install a backup router. Now, we're gonna go newer models of networking devices can be accessed through a USB port for management configuration. This is necessary because newer laptops and PCs typically do not include an RS232 port for console cable connections. That's right. The newer version, like in 2025, I mean, we don't use that RS232 port. none of the laptops, the newer laptops, don't have that port. So you would use your USB port for management configuration. Okay, now we're gonna investigate the shelf. I'm just gonna zoom out so you can see the whole picture right here. All right, I'm gonna zoom out. All right, so here's my shelf right there. Now I'm looking for a backup router. So if you kind of like hover over it, kind of displays the information right there. This is backup router. All right, so I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click and drag, click and drag, and then you can just hold on. I gotta zoom out more because I can't see the other side here. Better. Okay, there we go. It's better now. And you can just click and drag. I'm gonna put, maybe let's put under, that's a router, so I'm gonna put it right there. Right. Oops, doesn't go in there, buddy. There you go. It goes on the top, but why not on the bottom? Because it probably doesn't fit in there. It fits in there. Nice. Yeah, so my backup router is just underneath the edge router, just above the switch 1. Okay, now some devices are not automatically powered on when installed in the rack. Click the backup and inspect. All right, so we want to inspect the front, and you can zoom in more. Okay, all right, yeah, this backup router, where is the power on? Maybe it's on the back rear. That's the rear. See, now if we click that, there we go. Now it's power on. If it was like that, that's powered off. That's power on. And then you can go back. All right, now my backup router is powered on. All right, so now on the cable board, use a USB. So this time we're going to use a USB. Okay, and then the port should be highlighted in green. USB port on the far left. Okay, USB port on the far left. So USB far left. That's the port for inspect front, zoom in. That's your gig, that's your USB port. Maybe back. Right there, USB console right there. Yeah, that's right there. Okay, now it's in the back. And then connect the other end of USB to either of the USB ports on the laptop. Okay, so either of the USB port on the laptop. So there's USB 0, USB 1. Let's just use 0. Okay, all right, there we go. So now our USB cable is also connected. All right. Now the cable will not dangle like the USB, like the cables did for the connection 1. It's still dangling. Okay, I don't know. All right, now part 5. Now we're gonna configure a host name. That's fun stuff right there. Now we get to do some little bit of work inside. Okay, to change. All right, so now let's go ahead and go to our terminal. So you want to assign a name to networking devices to keep it, makes it easier to when you have a lot of devices, so it makes it easier to find. Okay, if you have a name, so you can that's the way to do it. So laptop 1, click laptop, and we will go to desktop and terminal. All right, and click OK. Now make it this bigger. Now it says just type would you like to enter dialog? Actually, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Just say no. All right, and we want to do is Yeah, just type no, then we have to be unable. That's your privilege mode, and then you're gonna go to global configuration, terminal now, and then you just want to type host name, edge, yes, guess you just gotta type it out, router backup, okay. Host name, I wish I can zoom a little bit this big, but it doesn't let me. Option view, zoom in. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit here. Oh, it just zooms out my the background, not this one here. Okay, that's not helping me here. Anyway, I guess, yeah. All right, anyway, I guess you guys can see that, hopefully. Okay, now that's that. Host name edge router backup, right? And you hit enter. Now see how it changed the name from router, it went to, now if you hit enter again, edge router backup. Now that's it, that's all it needs. Now notice, yep, now we did. Now close, we're gonna close this, just close it out. That's just one very simple command to change the host name. Now return to the closet, yep, and zoom out a little bit. Is this right fit? Okay. Now notice the name for backup didn't change. Didn't change, huh? It didn't change here. The device name didn't change, yeah. So what you want to do is click router, and then you want to go over to config tab right here, and you can also change it here. So yeah, if you want to like change that with Cisco. Cisco packet tracer would like to record this. Grant. Okay. All right. Now you can see there it says display name is backup router, host name is edge router. Okay. Now it's down here. Okay. I think, yep. Part 6 is explore the rest of the network. You can, explore the rest of the network, such as center and tele. Yeah, I mean, we don't have much here, but that's all we have. You can go here, explore the data center, like what's in the data center, right? This is massive, right? This got a lot of right fit here. See, it's got a lot of servers, it's got like a lot of switches. It's even got like 2 edge routers. That's big because the data center is pretty much the brain of everything for the whole organization. Data center is what runs the whole organization. Everything comes here, everything gets feed from here. So you have cool stuff here, and then now you can go to your tele worker room. I mean, even like room, and you can like do stuff like you can check this home PC, check this out. Printer, you can even check it out. Printer, change the name, configuration. There's some network switch right there in the behind. You can do stuff here too. Now check it out. There's a phone, laptop, so you can kind of like explore what's in there. All right, now this is it for today's video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you on my another video, and you have a lovely day. Thank you very much.